Welcome back to That One Time, the podcast of all podcasts. I'm Blake, and this is Lillie.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about phobias, fears, things that make you uncomfortable. But we're starting, of course, with our weekly rant. Mm-hmm. And would you like to go first? Or
you can go first. I'll sit on mine.
Okay. So the other day, I got to my dorm. All Sunday I had been planning on lowering my bed in my dorm, because if you stay in a dorm, you know, the beds are super high up, mm-hmm. and it's really hard for me because I have very tiny legs. I'm mostly mm-hmm. torso to get into the tall bed. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lower it. So I got up there Monday, or no, I guess it was Sunday afternoon, and I started to attempt to lower it. So I picked up my mattress. But first I had to move all the drawers out from under the bed. Yeah. And I was gonna have to find somewhere else to put those. And since I don't have a roommate, I just stuffed them under the other bed. Mm-hmm. And I picked up the mattress, threw it on top of the other bed with all the stuff. And I pulled the bed out, which was so hard. I mean, that bed's like 100 pounds, and I pulled it out because it's skin tight to the wall and in between the desk and the other wall. So I finally got it out, and I pushed it out a little bit more. And then I had to figure out how to even lower it in the first place, because I just knew that you could. I didn't know how. Mm-hmm. And so I looked it up and found out that you have to have a rubber mallet, which I don't have. Mm-hmm. And it was storming, so I didn't want to go get a rubber mallet. So I was like, let's see, what else do I have? My fist. Oh. I can punch it. I can punch it because if you don't know, the beds, they have straight wooden poles, yeah. and straight bars that go into them, and they kind of hang on like hooks. Yeah. But the hooks are very deep, like 2 inches. So in order to get it off, you have to lift it up. And you're supposed to do it with 2 people and a rubber mallet, but I'm one guy with no rubber mallet. And so I'm lifting up on it, I'm pulling and pulling, I can't do it. So I get my fist and I just uppercut it. Jeez. So after one hit, I figured out that is not how you're supposed to do it. And felt like I broke all my fingers and let out some girly kind of screams. And so then, second attempt, I wrapped my hands in 3 towels. I wrapped them up like a giant boxing glove. And I just started bang, 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 just hitting it. Didn't work. So then I stood on top of it, pulled. Mm-hmm. So that went on for about 45 minutes, and I got one corner pulled out. And I was like, yes. I mean, I thought that I just won the World Series, oh man. And so one by one, every corner, I got it out. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And then I realized that I had to do it all over again to put it back on, because I had to bang it back down into it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it ended up taking me about 3 to 4 hours to do that bed. And it really hurt my fist.
Was that all on Monday?
This was on a Sunday afternoon. It took me from about 2 o'clock to about 8 o'clock to do all that. And then I had to put my mattress back on, my sheets back on, drawers, rearrange my entire room. But now it takes me 2 less seconds to get back onto my bed. So it was all worth it. But that was my issue of the week.
That must have been very intense for you.
Yeah.
My weekly rant doesn't consist of anything that happened this week, but let's talk about last week, shall we? Ooh. So last week was the week after spring break, and I was added to a new class online because I need the extra credits to graduate. So this class is a class where you write creatively for whatever genre we're doing, and then we submit it to I think a on the low publishing thing or an online publishing website. But the thing is that I had to write 2 flash fiction. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a story with 1,000 words or less. And I had a really hard time because we had to do other stuff on top of that, and not to mention my other online class that is also very difficult, but it's It's more difficult than the one I'm talking about. Plus, all my other classes like physical science, American Lit, philosophy. There's another one I can't think of right now. There's 6 of my classes. I can't figure out the one. But I had 16 assignments due that week. 4 of them, I think, due on Wednesday. God, 16 assignments? Are you serious right now? Like, I don't know if anyone else has like more assignments than that. If you do, I am so sorry for you. Ooh, leave your weekly rant down in the comments of like YouTube, something like that.
Or Spotify. Now Spotify has comments.
Yeah, or Spotify now. Yeah, or Spotify. Because we would love to see your little weekly rants if you want to put it down below. But I don't know if it's the norm for anyone else to have more or less assignments than that. But that's the most I've ever had of all my Canvas months that I've been on, or this whole college thing. The most I've ever had was probably 7 or 8 assignments. Probably at max 9, never 16. I was very stressed. This week I have maybe, I done some the other day, but at the start, like on Monday, I think I had maybe 13 or 14 due. Who knows if that will change, so.
Let me look and see how many I have. I think I'm pretty well off this week. I was looking, do you look on to-do or calendar?
I just look on to-do.
Oh my gosh. I have 1.
Are you
I have a quiz tomorrow.
In what?
Principles of biology.
Oh, bless your heart.
Well, we've had a quiz for the last 2 classes. Like last class, Monday we had a quiz, and Tuesday we had a quiz. Last Thursday we had a quiz, and then that Tuesday we had a test.
Yep.
So man, I guess I just thought I was gonna get a break this week.
You want to know how many I have?
How many?
I have 11.
11.
Well, hold on, wait, scratch that. I've done 2 of these. I done it in my lab, so 9, I guess. 9. Still
due by Sunday?
Yes, due all by Sunday. Or maybe, I know one of them's going to extend to Monday or something like that. But anyways, that is, oh gosh. I feel like that was such a word load that I just said, but that was what the past 2 weeks has been like for me. Spring break was absolutely awful for me. I was mostly worried about the 9 assignments that I had to do over spring break.
Despicable.
I have no words. I was crying at one time. I'm like, I can't do this right now. I'm supposed to be relaxing. Oh goodness. But anyways, we now that we got that section done, we are going to talk about phobias, fears, discomforts, all of that. But we're going to first talk about the definition of phobia. And I'm pretty sure, Blake, you said you were going to say something during this section of it.
Yeah. So what's the difference, like, in fears and phobias? Like, I know I said to you earlier, like, say sharks, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a fear of sharks necessarily. I'm not walking around, like, cowering behind corners going, oh my gosh, a shark might be, over there. But if a shark were 3 feet in front of me, coming at me full speed with its jaw open, I'd probably be like, oh crap, I'm kind of scared of sharks a little bit. So does that mean I have a phobia of sharks?
I feel like that is just a fear. And I feel like what draws the line between phobia and fear, phobias, I would consider them just being either a very intense fear on the daily, which, sharks, you don't live anywhere near the ocean. But either you have like a constant fear of it, or it makes you really uncomfortable, or it can cause you to have panic or anxiety attacks. Or it could just make you feel like, give you like a little, I don't want to say, I really hate to say this word, but it gives you like a little cringe, or it like really irks you the wrong way. He's laughing at me. But anyways, the phobia definition is an uncontrollable, irrational, and lasting fear of a certain object, situation, or activity. So it can consist of not just things, but like occurrences, or a thing, or maybe like interactions or something like that. Almost every type of like fear. But
well, let me ask you this, okay? and this might jump ahead a little bit, so I'm sorry if it does, because we can easily go back. But one of my phobias is it's called like climacophobia, and it's climbing. So I'm not necessarily scared of climbing every day, but even somebody that is, or somebody that does have that, I mean, surely they're not scared of climbing all the time.
Yes, some of mine are, and they're in the most common phobias that we're going to talk about here in a minute. Some of mine are the only spike of fear in me when the time comes, or when the option.
So I do have a phobia of sharks, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I only have a fear of them when I'm faced with that.
Yes, but I feel like, I mean, you can look at it all kind of different ways, but that's just like kind of my kind of like division between phobias and fears. But yeah, I guess you can do it whatever you want to. If you go to the beach very often, I guess you would constantly have a fear of sharks, which I mean I do too. But it's not like I'm like, should I mention I have a phobia of sharks? But I don't live near the ocean, and it's not like I want to go way deep in the ocean to say hi to a little sharky.
I don't think really anybody doesn't have a fear of sharks. If you don't have a fear of sharks, I mean, you know, you obviously have never seen one or, you know, watched Jaws. But anyways.
Okay, so we talked about our phobia definition. These are the most common types of phobias, which some of them may be surprising. I know they were surprising to me, but these are the 7 most common ones in the U.S. adults or U.S. people. The first one is, okay, before I say these phobias, I want y'all to know that I am going to have trouble pronouncing these. And if I cannot pronounce them, I will say this is the fear of sharks or whatever it is, but I want to try to pronounce it as best as I can. So the first one that we're going to talk about is acrophobia or acrophobia, and it's the fear of heights. That he's Blake's counting down. He's like, okay, got that one.
I'm putting a finger down every time I get one.
And that is one of mine also, but I didn't put it down because we're going to talk about it. I feel like this doesn't apply to me unless with roller coasters, or maybe I don't know how to explain it. I just do have a fear of heights. Like, if you look over like a tall building or whatever it is and you see like you're really high up and I don't know how to explain it. Do you have, Blake?
Well, I've always lived next to a water tower. So I guess I've always imagined myself like climbing the water tower. Ooh, scary, climbing. And then getting to the top.
Climbing and heights?
Ooh, scary heights. So it's like I can't win in that scenario. But I feel like my brain, when I get on a high structure, is just like, jump. You know, like I'm immediately like hey,
yeah, I
could
get
just
that.
jump off this building. And so I'm worried that my brain is gonna like send me like over the edge or something.
Here's well, never mind, this actually applies to me daily. So we're in one of the main academic what you want to call it, building, and it has stairs and it has a railing to if someone wants to look over, I guess, but no one ever does. But sometimes I get too close to the railing and look over, and I think I'm going to do, like, I don't have the impulse to jump, but I think I'm falling, or not that I'm falling, but I think that I could easily go over that railing.
I think of like the dreams where you dream that you trip and then you wake up like all scared. I feel like that means you have a fear of heights.
Possibly, yeah. Okay. The next one we're going to talk about is aerophobia. I think is how you pronounce it, and it is the fear of flying, and this affects 10 to 40% of U.S. adults. Guys, do I have a story for you? But it's a story about TSA, but I will talk about my fear of flying. So, I've never been on a plane ever in my life, but I did go on one this past summer, and it was going to Tampa, Florida. So we took, I think, at least 3 flights, I think. And of course, I don't know if this kind of ties in with the whole heights thing, but I feel like I'm in the air on a plane that is somehow holding me up, and I can fall. In my mind, I'm thinking this, I can fall any minute, or this plane could crash. And there's nothing that can happen, but I'm trying to think of the logistics because people, I was going on TikTok and I was like, how can I relieve my anxiety or kind of decrease my anxiety before going on a plane? And people just say to think of as the turbulence. And if you don't know what turbulence is, it's just whenever the plane shakes and it's going through a bunch of air pressure, pushing it on different sides. But whenever that happens, it can be either very minimal or severe. And if it does shake and you're getting a little anxious, tend to think of it as the plane is surrounded by a big, like you're in jelly. So if you like move the jelly, it's going to wobble, but you're going nowhere. That's what I have to kind of think. But of course, yes, I have a fear of planes. I'm probably never going to go on a plane again because it just causes me too much anxiety. I think we're going to crash. The turbulence really gets to me. But my story about TSA. So we were coming back. I think this was in either Memphis or North Carolina. And there's 5 of us in this group traveling, and 3 of them already went through the TSA line, and then me and my other friend are left behind because we kind of got split up. And then we're almost going to go next in line to go through a metal detector, just to check for weapons and stuff. But before that, you have to take like your jacket off, your shoes off, anything that you have, like electronic watch, anything, put in this bin so it can be looked through to see, if it's safe or not. Well, you're supposed to do this and then go through the metal detector, but we had to let these, I think 2 of these elderly people go in front of us for, I don't know why. I mean, I couldn't stop anything. How am I going to push an old lady or an old man out of their wheelchair so I can go first? Like, I'm not going to do that. And plus, we're on a time crunch because we have 10 minutes to get to our boarding flight thing. I really don't know. But the elderly people are going through. They're taking their time, as you would assume, because they're old and yeah. And whenever me and my friend go through the metal detector, we're supposed to get our stuff out of the bin. This TSA worker, it looks like she's pointing to me and says, this shouldn't have happened. I really can't recall what she said, but I could recall at the moment. But she was basically kind of saying that these bins shouldn't have piled up on each other because we were behind, because we had to let, obviously, the people go before us. And I thought she was pointing at me. She was looking at me and she pointed a finger at me, and her tone was very aggressive and very intense. I said with my whole chest, I'm like, we didn't do this. I am a very hothead, and if someone accuses me of something that I didn't do, I want to go to war with you. And she was like, no, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the worker behind you. That's all that was said. Me and my friend are going to our flight. That's all the story consists of.
I know you think about that every night before you go to sleep.
I'm like, if I could tell that worker to handle that better, I would. That was such kind of like a very unrelated to phobias, but I had to slip it in there to tell you guys, to let y'all know my story. That was pretty interesting. Like I finally had a rude TSA interaction that I could tell about the other, because I feel like everyone has their TSA story, but I have mine. Nope, like doesn't have it. It's okay.
I've never been flying. I've never had a chance to fly. I've never thought about flying. I watch a bunch of videos of planes crashing. I mean, I think I'm good. I wouldn't say I have a fear of it, but I'm not rushing to get on a plane.
Our next one is one that I hear about all the time, and that is arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia?
Oh my gosh. Yes, arachnophobia. It looks different from how I typed it. I'm sorry, I'm not stupid or anything. I know.
So, Araucanophobia is actually like my number one phobia. It's the first thing I have listed on here. I am deathly afraid of spiders.
Yes, that is the fear of spiders and other arachondriacs or however you say it. I used to could say it, but I just and my brain's not connecting. But anyways, that's one of your top fears or your first one?
Yes, my brothers. I've always been scared of spiders because they're little 8-legged weirdos, like with tiny little bodies, and they can kill you with a bite or whatever. Mm-hmm. My brothers, when I was really young, my brothers and me have an age gap of around 8, 9 years. Mm-hmm. So when I was 5, they were like in their teens. Mm-hmm. And I remember we were playing hide and seek, and they told me we had bunk beds in their room. And they told me that under the bunk beds, there was a giant spider, like giant spider. Mm-hmm. And so 1, that kept me out of the room, and 2, gave me a huge disadvantage in hide and seek because they're not scared of spiders, so they went under there and, hid while I wouldn't check. Mm-hmm. And so one day I was like, I bet there's not even a spider under that bunk bed. And I walked in there and I lifted that thing. Oh. About that time, my brother reached his arm out at me. And so ever since, I've been very scared of spiders. Every time I see, I have one more story.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It was a few months ago now. And my brother actually listens to this. He texted me and said that he listened to the first 3 episodes. So we'll get a kick out of this. We were reading water meters. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, water meters are the things in your yard that tell your water thing. My family does that. Anyways, so we were checking water meters, and there's always big spiders in water meters. Spiders, snakes, rats. I mean, black widows mostly. There's so many black widows. Jeez. And my brother calls me over because we were both reading like some at the same time. He said, Blake, come here. And so I ran over there and he said, look at this spider. And I mean, the thing was about the size of my palm. And I was like, that is probably the biggest spider I've ever seen. He said, get me a stick. I'm going to get it out of here so it's not in here anymore. So of course I go and grab him a stick. I bring it over there. I hand it to him. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. I just handed him a stick to get that spider out of the meter. Mm-hmm. He gets the stick. Spider crawls on the stick. Throws the stick at me.
I knew it!
Threw the spider directly at me. It landed maybe an inch away from my toe. I run away, and I'm huge. I run away. It's like an earthquake happening. He goes back trying to grab the spider and throw it at me again. I mean...
Again?
I actually have this whole thing recorded.
Oh my gosh!
But fortunately, I'm not going to play it right now, but I have it all recorded. But yeah, that was
I
one of
would
the worst
have
things
had
ever.
him by the throat. I'm like, listen here.
Yeah, I ought to picked him up.
Like, you listen to me. You better not ever.
You just wait. I am not really scared of spiders, but if I do see one that looks like a black widow or a brown recluse, is that what it's called? I don't know. One of the most two of the most venomous spiders that you could ever get bitten by. I'm like, okay, I'm keeping my distance. You could have the house. You could have the car. I'm just gonna go. But with those granddaddy long legs, some people get really creeped out by them, which is understandable. But I'm like, listen.
Yeah, I'm not scared of those.
He's just trying to live his life.
Yeah, those big old spiders, they're just goofy looking. I'm not scared of them.
He's like, hey, I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm fine with...
He's like, I'm not paying rent though. I'm not paying rent.
Those things are weird when they get all together in a big lump. And then you touch it and then they run out. Then they're weird. But I'm trying to find the picture, but I have a picture of the spider.
In my head, I'm thinking of like a big, what are those big spiders that tarantulas?
Tarantulas. I'm not scared of those either.
Really?
I think the bigger the spider gets, the less scary it gets. The thing about spiders, and this is why I'm not scared of snakes, is because I feel like I would see a snake coming. I've actually had a snake launch at me out of a water meter before. Oh. That's a different story. But if a snake's coming at me, I'm gonna see it. Snakes are pretty big. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's way less deadly snakes than there are spiders. because my brother used to catch snakes all the time. That's probably another reason why I'm not scared of them. But spiders are small. You know,
And
they
you
can
can't see
crawl on
them.
your clothes and they can be on you and you wouldn't know it. You would feel a snake. So I'm just not scared of snakes. I'm gonna assume you are, but I guess we won't spoil that.
Top 3 fears, we'll get into that. That's actually one of the common ones that we'll get to.
Really?
I have a little little story to tell you about that, but I had this one friend in high school who said she was also scared of spiders, but she wasn't scared of snakes. And I'm thinking, how could you not be scared of snakes when they have really big fangs? It could cause you to die, but also I know there are spiders that could also cause you to be on like a fatal side. But I'm like, how could you not be scared of this big thing that's going and can like slither and it's fast and anyways.
It's just not scary to me. I mean, like I said, my brother, not the spider brother, a different brother, he used to catch snakes in the yard all the time. So he would always be holding them up and I'd be out there looking at them, so it just never scared me.
Jeez. Are you looking through your Snap?
I cannot believe I cannot find this picture. I'm getting really upset. I'm going to text him.
Our next phobia is, oh goodness, Ophidiophobia, and it's the fear of snakes. Oh, what do you know?
Wow.
I just didn't know that. Okay. So yes, as you can assume, I have a really big fear of snakes. I've never encountered one, but I know whenever me and a few other family members were walking back from doing, we would always sometimes walk around the block and stuff, but whenever we're coming back, it's dark and the only lights that are on are the street lights. And my uncle says, Lily, go in the house with your cousin right now. There's a snake in the yard. And I'm like, what? So I run in there. I'm terrified. I'm like, this thing has fangs. Ugh. And then my other story is a recent one. Of course, like I said, I didn't encounter it, but it was in my premises. So I come home from school. I think this happened. I think I was told this last week, actually. And my one of my family members was like, Lily, you want to go outside? And I'm like, why? I can tell there's something up.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, there's like a baby snake just living its life near our concrete. The place where I've seen you the iconic red umbrella.
Oh, really?
One of my peaceful places, yes. And they're all like, okay, this is the baby snake. Where's the mama snake? The worst question you could ever ask me. I don't know. All I know is that it needs to go back home now and away from mine. I swear, what is their purpose?
So it could still be out there, is what you're saying. I think the main thing about snakes is that they eat mice, but I'm not scared of mice.
I know
either.
they're a part of the food chain or whatever, but like, other than that, what is your purpose? I would rather have like a ton of overpopulated rats than have a bunch of y'all sneaky little slithering selves near my premises where I'm supposed to be relaxing. And they look weird.
Snakes?
Yes, they look weird. They look into your soul and they're like...
I think they're kind of cute. Have you ever seen the snakes with like the little cowboy hats? If not, I might change your perspective.
There's not a cute snake. If it's a snake, it's a dead snake.
I'm gonna get off my phone, I promise. I've been like staring at my phone. Hang on. There's a picture of snakes with little cowboy hats on. And not like the scary cowboy hats, like cute cowboy hats. Look at that. Look.
I didn't know there was a scary cowboy hat.
You know, like, have you ever seen the movie Rango?
Yes,
Yeah,
I have.
you know, Rattlesnake Jake.
Don't remind me. Oh.
I tip my hat to you, one legend to another. Like, look at that little cowboy hat.
Oh my God! Put it away.
It's just a little snake with a little, oh, look at this one. It's got a little pink cowboy hat. Oh, that's just a sticker. There, oh my goodness.
Oh my God!
Oh, I wonder if I was gonna look up spiders with cowboy hats, but I don't think I can.
My body temperature spiked so much when I saw those pictures. He showed me a picture. It looked like a rattlesnake. It looked so scary. Oh my gosh.
At least they have cowboy hats. The one that's sitting under your iconic red umbrella probably doesn't.
I will be like, you go back to your territory. I don't know. Whatever. Just mosey on over away from me. Oh my gosh. If I ever encounter a snake that stands up.
Like a cobra?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Rikki Tikki Tavi?
Maybe.
It's this little cartoon about a little mongoose. It's the cutest thing. But the villain is like this cobra, and it like stands up, and it's got these little like things.
I know what you're talking
it's so
about.
cool. You should watch that movie. You'd love it.
Oh,
They don't wear
God.
cowboy hats.
They don't. Oh my God. More of the story. You know my fear. I'm never going to be looking at one. I hate the zoo. If we're going on a hike, just know I'm not going to be there. Never. I'm like, what if a snake? And if there's ever like a what if a snake in my mind, I'm not going. I'm not going to be there. Catch me at home, safe, in my own environment where there's not cold-blooded reptiles around me just waiting to go, a snake.
Yeah, because snakes have never gotten into anybody's house before.
Oh my God. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways.
Moving on.
Moving on from those little things.
Hold on. Actually, I have nightmares about snakes.
Really?
Yes. There was this, I have many nightmares about, I'm like in my bed in my dream. And there's like, I feel like there's snakes crawling on me. Oh my God.
I had a nightmare about a spider one time. And it's one of the only like dreams that I remember, because I don't remember many dreams. I don't have many dreams. I don't get much sleep actually. But
he has insomnia.
yeah, I do. But I had a dream that I was walking up a staircase, and I know I used to play this Ghostbusters video game where there's like this staircase that you climb up. And I knew it was based on that, but it's like you're kind of in like this void, and you're climbing up this staircase, and there was like these giant like building, like skyscraper-sized black widows, and they were coming down from the ceiling, but like they were far away from me, and so I wasn't really scared of them. I knew they were giant. Like I said, I'm not scared of giant spiders, and I was like, that's scary, like giant spider coming down from the ceiling, like descending from a web, and then egg sacs started to fall on me.
No.
With little black widows. And I mean, I just like had a fit, and I woke up like I was having a seizure or something, just, whew. Anyways, I can't think about that anymore.
That one of my dreams that I told you about snakes, I actually woke up crying, and it got to the point where it was almost in like back-to-back nights. I can't tell you why. They're just my biggest fear. This is why I hesitate about telling people. I can't speak. Oh my gosh, about telling people my biggest fear. I'm afraid they're gonna like find one and be like, Lillie, look, it's non-poisonous. I don't care if it's not poisonous.
Yeah, you're really publicizing your weaknesses here.
Actually, guys, I'm not afraid of snakes.
Yeah, she's actually holding a snake right now. She's got one around her neck. It's like whispering in her ear, telling her what to say. But
next phobia, this is called cynophobia, and it's the fear of dogs. And I kind of understand it. It's not my biggest one. Blake's shaking his head. I think it's just, my thing with like dogs is like, I don't like big dogs because they can easily trample me. But I also don't like very aggressive dogs. Like I think Rottweilers are like one of the most aggressive ones, or very protective ones, or just anyone that looks like it can eat me.
I'm not scared of dogs in the slightest. Like, reading water meters is really tough for me. Like, you see a big old dog running out at you.
It's really like gave Blake some character.
Well, you see like videos of not news people, like paper people, or, they're called mailmen, I forgot. Mailmen. And they'll like walk into the yard, and then they'll run away because there's a little chihuahua chasing them. I mean, I feel like, and I'm a big guy. Like, worst case scenario, what, it like nibbles my finger? Like, what, it draws a little blood? I have a cat. Like, it tears me open every day. I'm not scared of a little dog.
Do you have 1 or 2 cats?
I have 2, but one's outside, so he's not really.
I love kitties. I love them so much. Isn't yours gray or? Blake showed me a picture. Oh, it's so cute. I had this one cat, and it was a boy, and it was like this big fur ball of gray. And even though he wouldn't listen to me, he was my son. I took care of him. He sometimes was making biscuits on my legs or something, and then he would sometimes attack my feet whenever he would sleep with me.
I say Yurio today.
Blake showed, oh, she's so cute.
I do have a gray cat though, actually.
Blake showed me a video of his little cat, and it's like
licking its little arm. It's got a crippled leg. It actually got bit by a spider when it was a kitten, and it broke its bone.
Spiders seem like they're just coming for you. Like, they just don't like you. They're like, okay, we are
reacted to my
anti-Blake. Make it known. All right. Next phobia is, I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing this. This is trypanophobia, and it's the fear of injections. And this is 20 to 30% of adults are affected by this. I'm thinking this may fall under the needle phobia. Ooh, what did you do? I thought you were.
I got injected yesterday. You have this phobia,
No,
I presume?
there's another phobia that I'll talk about in my personal ones. But
gotcha.
I'm like, does this fall under the needle phobia? Like, you're afraid of needles or shots, or just like you're
Any kind of, I guess, like
yeah, I guess
arrows, bullets, needles, pencils. I mean,
I guess.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's probably just a generalization.
Sometimes I don't like shots, but shots aren't the worst thing to ever happen. At least in my personal opinion. I know there's some people that are very
I used to
severely
be
afraid.
a little scared of shots, and then I started giving blood like every chance I got. So now it's whatever. Like I
I
get
will
shots all the
tell
time.
you, I don't like IVs.
They're kind of weird.
IVs can go somewhere else. They need, ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what, finger pricks, those are for the birds. I don't like getting my little finger poked for them to test my blood. That makes me frustrated. Because they get that sharp little piece of glass and they go, it's like, stop, you know? There's blood right here, just stick a needle in it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Our last common phobia is, it looks like it says astrophobia, which I'm gonna think that is, and it's the fear of thunder and lightning. Me and Blake kind of talked about this a little bit on Monday, I think, or Tuesday. I was kind of freaking out over a storm, and that is one of my common fears. I will go into depth in a little bit. I'm sorry, my little pronunciation is not doing well today, but I would say I told Blake I'm scared. I'm not scared of thunder really, but I am scared of a little bit of lightning. And I'm like thinking, I asked my friend this one time also. I'm like, so lightning strikes, and I know lightning can kill some people, but I'm like, if you're in your house or if you're in your car, how would it ever strike our house and like damage it or something? I know
your car, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I heard that your car, when it gets struck, because cars get struck by lightning, pretty good deal, I think. But if lightning hits your car, your tires are rubber, so it kind of grounds your car, which means you're fine. Like if it hits your car, you're okay.
Okay.
It'll strike your car, but since your tires ground it, you're good.
Well, because I know lightning strikes trees, and the tree falls, the tree's heavy, it can, whatever. But I know some people that are afraid of thunder. I think whenever, I think whenever it's really loud to me, maybe I'll jolt a little bit in surprise. Also with like lightning, I told you I'm like a little afraid of lightning, but sometimes I'll go out on my porch and watch the storms and I'll see like a really big burst of lightning. I saw this one, it was probably like a month ago. It was so bright and it looked like it was so close and I'm like, oh, I was kind of shocked to my core and I was like, oh.
Shocked to your core.
I was stunned. I was like, what? Did that happen? I didn't get it on video.
That's the thing, everybody wants to record lightning. I don't know, the thing about lightning is like, if I'm not outside, I'm not gonna see it. So I'm not really scared of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going down the road and I see a big thing of lightning, I'm like, ooh. But thunder is just, it can happen at any moment, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not scared of like, I'm scared of like, bam! You know, something
Those ones
scary.
that sound like gunshots and
Yeah,
stuff.
the ones that shake your house. That's freaky.
Yeah. Okay. We are done with our most common ones, and do you want to go first on your personal ones, or should I?
I guess we can do back to back.
Okay, yeah.
Because I only have a few. So I
He
guess
has a few, I have 7.
I can do
9.
1, you can do 2, I can do 1, you can do 2. How many did you say you have?
I think I have like 9 or 8.
I have
Somewhere
4,
around there.
5, 6. I have 6. Well, we've already talked about arachnophobia, so I can cross that out. Agoraphobia, which is crowds. I don't like being in crowds.
I understand that.
Crowds are scary. I think about when me and my grandparents used to go to the mountains, they would stop at every thrift store on the way there, and we would stop at this one in particular, and it was so crowded. There were so many people, and when you're with grandparents, and I was younger, I didn't want to get separated from them. And you're at a flea market. There's a ton of old people. They kind of blend together at a point. And so you'll get a little far away and you can't find your grandparents. They never answer their phone. It's freaky and you get really stressed out, and there's no good stuff at a flea market most of the time. It's just a bunch of animals in cages. So
I will tell you that flea market ice cream is so good.
I mean, I'm not saying flea markets don't have good stuff. I totally ripped some dude off on some Star Wars merch a while back. He sold me like a $100 antique for $10, but but I mean, it's just freaky.
I don't have like a phobia of crowds, but I feel like I have an intense thing of social anxiety. Yeah. Sometimes whenever, this isn't under my list, but going off what Blake said, sometimes whenever people, especially too many people, get too close to me, like you're in a line or you're waiting for something or you're looking at something and people get way too close to you, they don't know their personal space or they don't know like unspoken boundaries. And that's when I'm kind of like walking away, or you're overwhelmed in a store and you can't get out because there's so many people.
Yeah.
I have been in this situation where, this was in middle school and we were all in the gymnasium and then we're all, oh wow.
We can cut it in half.
Yeah. And we're all getting out of the gymnasium and there's only 2 doors to go out of. They're double doors, but some of them just only use the one door. I am squished to death. I can't breathe. I feel like, I'm not telling you, I was so squished with swarms of people outside at both of my front and back. I'm like, oh my God, plus your backpack.
Yeah.
Everyone's backpack is heavy and stuff in their field. I couldn't breathe. I was, ooh. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Railroad Festival?
I feel like,
Amory?
I think I may have been one time.
That place, that's so scary if you have that fear, because there's so many people, everybody's there, and it's a fun time. Not for me. If you're a big guy, carnivals suck because you can't ride any rides. You just almost got stuck on that thing that spins around, like really fast.
I hate that.
Almost got stuck on it because we have no. This one just. I think it's called zero gravity.
Yeah,
where you
that's
spin
the one
around in a circle.
I hate.
We had like these little rope seat belts. I couldn't get mine, so I couldn't ride it.
Oh gosh, I hate that thing at the fair. I know what you're talking about, and I hate it so much.
Yeah.
My first one on my list is, you're gonna think it's weird. I will say. Before I go into it, I want to say some of mine consist of phobias, fears, and discomforts. Some of them I couldn't find official phobias for, so that's why I labeled, I put in 3 different things for us to discuss. Anyways, my first phobia is either it's pronounced venophobia or venophobia, and that is the fear of veins.
Oh, so that's why you were making that. Hey, don't worry. You can't even see my veins because they're hidden under a bunch of fat.
Why are they blue?
Because there's no oxygen. I have really blue palms. Look at that. I'm like all blue.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Both pretty blue here.
I sometimes turn purple.
Fun fact, if you cut them open, they're actually red.
Oh my god, I don't need to know that. But oh my gosh. So,
don't do that. I'm not advising you to do that.
So I have a very skinny wrist, and I'm kind of have like a phobia of my own veins. This is probably just a bone, but I want to show Blake. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting up my shirt. And I'm
on her arm.
Yes, and I'm looking at my wrist, and you know whenever they tell you to make a fist like whenever you're giving blood or whatever. Oh my god. Okay. So look at this. And so I made a fist, and I don't think that was a vein. Was it?
It looks like you have a really small like bone. It's just like. Oh, that kind of hurts me to think about.
Yeah,
it looks like when she squeezes her fist that she has like a pencil going into her like a blue pencil. Anyways. See, look, I ain't got nothing. You can't see anything on mine.
I'm like squirming in my seat. Oh my gosh.
Takes them 5 minutes to find my vein to give blood.
Oh my god. I was trying to show someone that the other day, and he was laughing his butt off at me, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it.
Hey, my dad can make his vein move. It like squirms like a little worm. Anyways, you can go ahead and do another one since I don't have many.
Okay. So this is not a phobia, but this is a discomfort, and I'm gonna give you insight after I tell it. But it is whenever I'm barefoot and my feet touch a dirty floor and a bunch of stuff catches on it.
You can feel the dirt under it?
Yeah, like either dirt, dust, food, crumbs. Ugh.
Food? You've had that happen? Food?
Like at other people's houses or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm socks only. I don't take mine.
Even whenever I have socks on, I don't like that. Like whenever that like situation happens, I tend to wear my Crocs, and I'm like, I don't care. But I encountered someone who had this kind of like discomfort whenever I was at a camp, and we were in I guess our cabin, I guess you could say, and we had bunk beds, and of course there was like 7 girls I think in this one thing, and me and this other girl, we were on the top bunk, and then she was getting down and she climbed back up. She was like, there's a bunch of stuff on the floor and my feet are bare. I don't want to step on any of that. I was like, I agree with you 100%. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone kind of understands it, but it just gives me I don't know what it is. I mean, of course it makes me feel dirty, and there's like a bunch of textures rubbing up against your foot, and I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like it.
My feet are like rocks, so it doesn't really bother me that much.
What's next on your list?
Let's see here. My list is on Snapchat Memories, so it kind of takes me a minute to pull it up. And now, every time that you go to Snapchat Memories, it pulls up your 1 year ago today, which I don't want to see. Of course, it is my cat. But let's see, arachnophobia, agoraphobia. Let's go to. So I've already kind of mentioned this before, but climacophobia. I don't know if that one copied right, but climbing freaks me out so much. Like climbing ladders, I'm always scared that it's gonna break at the top and I'm gonna fall backwards, or I'm just gonna fall off. And since, like I said, I live next to a water tower, there's a like 100-foot tall ladder that I constantly look at. And I'm thinking, people climb that ladder sometimes. And of course they have the things that hook onto them to make sure they don't fall. But still, that's gotta be so scary. My brother, Spider Brother, he actually, he's a fireman and he had to climb up a water
that's what I was
tower.
thinking. I was like, how does,
Yeah, but he climbed up it, or not that one, but he climbed up another one nearby. I just can't imagine. That's so freaky to me. I mean, the fear of heights, all that.
Spider Brother, if you're listening, that is your new name.
Yeah, that is what you will be referred to as here on out.
What are the other brothers labeled as?
Let's see. if he's Spider Brother, I don't want to say their names, I guess.
Jimmy Bob.
The other one,
Steve.
The other one lives in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So he can be the Pencil Brother. Yeah, Pencil Brother. Pencil and Spider Brother. Spider Brother, by the way, is older than Pencil Brother by a year, if that helps.
I'm like, this is, in my head, I'm thinking this is a literal Pencil Brother. And then Spider Brother. It kind of reminds me of like the name Spider off of the latest Avatar.
Yeah, Spider Brother actually just had a kid.
We're talking.
Spider Brother gave birth like 2 days ago. No joke.
It's like we're having code names for like other people that we don't want to let them know that we're talking about them. Like, oh my gosh, pink-haired girl or blue-eyed boy, whatever, I don't know. That's so funny, Spider Brother.
So what's your next one?
This is gonna be hard to say. This is a phobia. It is Lilophobia.
Lilophobia?
There's like a P and then there's like an S after, and then it goes O-phobia, and it kind of doesn't really correlate with the description, but is a fear of tornadoes or hurricanes. Mine is heavy on the tornadoes. I kind of expressed this to Blake and other people. Sorry, there's like something stuck in my throat. But I've never like seen a tornado like in person, but I have been caught up in, I think at least 2 times where I've been caught up in like the access of like a tornado. Like the tornado may be like, I live in Saltillo, so there may be like a tornado that's happening at the moment in Baldwin, and like we'll get the outskirts of that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really bad. No, we just got the little crumbs of what it was. I thought we were going, oh my gosh. And then the tornado in, was it 2012 or 2014 that hit Tupelo? And I think we kind of got the outskirts of that too in Saltillo, some of us. Of course, it's not like any damaging anything, but it's a lot of wind, and you can't really see what's going on because there's like a lot of rain, maybe some hail, and maybe like some tree limbs or stuff is being thrown around. You don't know what's going on, so you kind of assume the worst. But that is one of my major fears. Top 3. It's snakes, tornadoes, and probably planes.
Tornadoes are one of those things that kind of goes back to like sharks for me. Like I'm not sitting here going, oh, tornado, but if it's storming, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't. Because little fun fact about me, the 2 towns that I visit primarily have both been destroyed by tornadoes. The main one, the place I went to school and everything, was completely flattened by a tornado in 2011 by an EF5.
Jeez.
And then just last year, the town that is like 2 minutes away from my house got wiped or destroyed a lot by another tornado. And both of them, the one that hit Amory, went within a mile of my house.
Crazy.
So it was very scary. It it completely destroyed a neighborhood just down the road from me, and all the trees in my yard fell down and everything. So it was very, very scary. But I wouldn't say I'm scared of tornadoes. I mean, I don't want them to happen. But
I wish they would not happen. I wish we would not have snakes. I wish we would not have tornadoes. I mean, yeah, some thunderstorms and some rain.
yeah.
I don't really care. Snow. Just get rid of tornadoes. I hate them.
And we're in tornado season right now, which is very unfortunate.
Don't.
So pretty much every time it storms, I mean, we're GG,
kind of
like it's
on
over.
severe weather alert or
Yeah.
whatever. I am always on WTVA all the time. I'm always looking at Matt LaBon's
Luckily, we have Matt Lavon.
his Facebook to see if he's live or whatever. And oh my gosh.
A severe weather alert is in effect for your area.
You get a lot of those when you.
Oh, here's one of the most current ones. It says, what does it say? Lightning has been detected.
Yeah.
Lightning has been detected in your immediate area.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he saying now? Like, it'll be like 12 at night. I'm like, oh my god, okay, lightning.
I'm glad I don't have that turned on.
Oh gosh. One of my other ones is, oh gosh. This one and the one after this is just so hard to pronounce. But Blake's gonna laugh at me for this. Okay. It is pronounced phobia. That is probably not how you pronounce it, but it is a fear of tomato ketchup. He's looking at me.
Are you serious? Ketchup?
Yes, I hate
Tomato ketchup, not to be confused with onion ketchup?
I knew you were going to say this. I don't know. That's what the description was on Google. But I knew this was the one he's going to laugh at me about. So I don't like ketchup. I don't like the smell of ketchup. I hate whenever you have ketchup at home in that big bottle and it sloshes like water. Ooh, I hate that.
Boo! Dude, she jumped so hard. I showed her a picture of Tomato. Dude, she leapt out of her chair. She's on the other side of the room right now.
I guess this is fall of the lines of phobia and discomfort. Like, whenever they bring me like my fries along with like, I guess my steak, and they put like a little bucket of ketchup, I'm like, don't touch
Fries with steak?
Like at Outback.
You don't get baked potato?
No, I get 2 sides of fries.
You have a phobia of potatoes?
No, I'm
and
just
butter and sour cream and salt and pepper?
If it makes you feel better, my dad gets that, but
Yeah, it does make me feel better. At least somebody in your family is normal. Golly. No.
he knows about how I eat brownie batter and raw cookie dough, but I don't like brownies.
She was telling me the other day about all the raw things that she eats instead of cooked variants. Like that's like a one-way trip to getting poisoned and dying. Like chicken, like at least cook it.
I cooked it. It's always cooked. Like with my desserts, I always want them to be really soft and chewy, but with like food, I want it to be really crunchy.
I'm a crunchy everything kind of guy, unless it's baked potatoes, and then I like them soft.
But yeah, I just get at Outback I get the, what is it? A well done sirloin, I said, and then they're like, what size do you want? I'm like, I want 2 sides of fries. And they're always like, bring ketchup, and I'm like,
What do you like other than ketchup?
What don't I like other than
Or
ketchup?
what do you like?
Sauce
Honey
wise?
mustard or?
Okay, I don't like any type of sauce, but I did try Chick-fil-A sauce maybe like 3 years ago with my friend. I was like, this isn't bad. I want to change my world.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sauce isn't great to me. No, cane sauce. All right, we're getting on a whole other topic, but let me just say I could drink 2 gallons of cane sauce. But anyways.
And everybody's like, that cane sauce and that toast.
You gotta go down to Raising Cane's. They got the best toast and the best sauce. Oh my gosh.
The last hardly to pronounce difficult one is also food related, and it is, oh god, tequilaphobia. I think.
I want to guess what this one is.
Okay, guess.
Do you say brumocontestophoobia?
Yes, like BRUM.
Okay, well that completely.
Bruma
And it's food related.
Tactophilia. Oh, something like that. What is your guess on
It's
what
food related?
Yes.
Broom. For some reason, I'm getting like mushroom vibes. Like the consistency of like foods. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, it's kind of close. It's the fear of foods touching.
Oh, well.
Like, how can I explain this? I don't eat, I'm a very picky eater, but if my fries and my steak is touching, I'm like, ugh, get away. No, I'm not gonna eat this fry because it has steak sauce on it or whatever. Like, flick to the other side, flick to the trash can. Like, it kind of weirds me out, and I'm like, ugh. Especially if you're eating mashed potatoes and you have ooh, I don't like beans, and the beans all up in there or whatever.
I can't relate to this at all. I mix my foods together. I was doing this diet during spring break where you eat 4 eggs and a baked potato for breakfast, and I just heated up the baked potato, put it in a bowl, heated up some eggs, put them in the same bowl, and mixed them up. Put some butter on it. I mean, it was whatever. It didn't taste very good, but I'm not scared of the different
I know people say oh, well, it's all going in the same place, but it's all going in my mouth, and I'm eating it either because I'm hungry or to enjoy it. And I don't want to feel some discomfort with the things that are touching that I don't want them to be correlating with. I know some people are like this because I've seen some TikToks where they made videos about this.
I'll tell you what's good. You were talking about potatoes and beans. But what's good? Do you like black-eyed peas?
No.
What?
I don't like them.
My grandfather cooked killer. What did I say? Black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
He cooked killer black-eyed peas and potatoes, and you'd get those and you'd mix them together. Oh my gosh, they're very similar in taste. They just kind of taste like gravy, I guess. But that was really good.
What is your phobia that is so?
Okay, so the main phobia I would say that kind of is daily in my life is a telephobia, which is the fear of imperfection.
Oh.
And I'm not a neat freak or perfection person, but if you listen to previous episodes, I don't socialize very much. I'm by myself a lot, and oftentimes I'm using that time to think about past conversations.
I do that too, yeah.
And I'm constantly thinking, well, if I would have said this, it would have been funnier, or if I would have said this, it would have made more sense. Every time that I say something and it doesn't work, I get really frustrated about it. And episode 1 of the podcast released on Spotify a few days ago. And Lillie texted me and said, hey, I think that the episode cut out a little early. And so I listened to it and it was fine. I was like, oh, it must have just been a glitch on your end.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it a few days later and it cut out. And it was such a little thing, maybe 10 seconds. But that was so annoying. 10 seconds, it would have taken me an hour to redo. And it's just little things. I constantly critique myself about every little thing, interaction, thing that I do. It takes me 30 minutes in the morning to get everything set up after my shower. You know, I have a girl's countertop in my bathroom. It's just covered in things.
We appreciate that though.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I have face cleansers and everything. And I'm a fat dude. Who cares, It's just, I don't know. I'm very picky about that kind of stuff.
It's your thing, and at least you're organized unlike some people.
I guess. But when you spend so much...
you take care of your skin.
Yeah, I mean, even though my forehead's breaking out for some reason.
It gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the product.
This is the rain before the rainbow. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have.
This one is it's trending. It's always trending on TikTok. And I get it, but it's always with the audio that's like, fee, fi, fo. Okay, of course I'm not.
Wait, are you talking about the yo?
Yep, I'm talking about that.
It's the phobia of the sea.
It's
Thalassophobia?
Thalassophobia, the fear for the ocean or other large bodies of water.
Yeah.
I get that, and I have like a fear of that, but I'm never going to be stranded in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm never going to be in that situation, so I don't have a phobia of it.
But I kind of get a little uncomfortable seeing those videos. And anytime I hear that audio, and like the first few seconds are like a glimpse of like a big rainstorm and like an ocean.
I always get like big monsters. I've always been scared of the Kraken.
That too.
The Kraken, I love squids. Squids are my favorite animal.
Squidward.
Like, I guess it's octopus is really, but like the Kraken, like coming out of the water, being all giant. Yeah, that's freaky.
I've seen a lot of videos on that too. Mostly the ones that I get on that subject is correlating to, we only discovered 20% of the sea, and this is what lays beyond us. Who knows about the possibilities?
I'm always confused. People or scientists will be like, we've actually discovered more of this about space than we have of the ocean. No, we haven't. You say there's like billions of planets, and we've got like, what, 20 named? Like, no, you haven't. Shut up. You're just trying to get some fun facts out there.
You're just trying to talk some smack.
Yeah. But like, did you see that video, and I'm sure you don't want to, of the bridge the other day that caved in? The famous bridge? Yeah. Like, that was freaky.
What was the bridge called?
It was the one in Maryland. Frank Lock and Key.
I did see that, and I was like, what?
Bridge, Maryland. Key Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and it fell because a cruise hit it, or a freight ship hit it, and it collapsed and killed a bunch of people.
Oh.
Which is really scary.
It is scary, oh my God.
And the scariest thing is, I mean, there's probably still people down there in cars that they can't get. And the water's, I think, 30 degrees. So
yeah, what is it called? Whenever you get, whenever you're like, hypothermia.
Yeah.
And yeah. Whenever me and my friends were in Tampa, it was such a big city, but there's like so many, it's not bridges, well, I guess it is. It just looked like a big way, but the bridge, I guess you can say, was so high up, like a roller coaster, and then it goes down. The high up really scared me. I'm like, I don't like this. Can we speed up a little bit? Because this is really irking this is going past my boundaries. Like, I'm surprised I'm in the car right now. But not really, oh my gosh. I feel like I don't like roller coasters. It's not on my list, but I didn't think about it. But I don't like, obviously it goes with my fear of heights, and I just think I'm gonna fall out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I feel like that's the most common phobia I've seen on TikTok ever.
Fear of the sea.
Fear of the sea.
Yeah.
And I've seen like these TikToks, I get one at least every week of like, obviously the audio that Blake was impersonating.
I like the audio. I think it's
funny. And it would be like a diver, and he's like in some really murky water, and he's like, oh, whenever there's like no bottom to the sea, or you just don't know what's gonna come at you and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. Even though I'm scared of sharks, I see a lot of shark movies. Because even though like the Meg movies are bad, I still like to see them. I don't know why.
I don't see a lot of shark movies, mostly because I just think they're stupid.
Sharknado is stupid. I will tell you that.
Yeah. You watch the movie called Sharknado and you're like, I bet this is going to be great. This is going to this is the next big thing.
I got my family to watch both 47 Meters Down movie, and they're all just like this. They're like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
In case you're wondering what song we're talking about, it sounds a little something like this. low battery. Anyways,
Yes, that I feel like a lot of people have seen that.
yeah.
But do you have any more phobias on your list?
I
or is
just
that it?
came up with one, but I don't know what the term for it is.
You can just say the fear of.
It's the fear and funny word of cringe. I'm scared of embarrassing situations. Like, me and my mom watch Jeopardy together a lot, and I always have to cover my ears with my thumbs whenever it comes to the interviews with the people, because, you know, they'll get up there on stage, you know, one chance to be on TV, and he's like, so what would you like to talk about? And they're like, oh, there was this one time in kindergarten where I snapped my crayon and I had to borrow one from my neighbor. And it's like, why would you say that on live TV? Like, that's all you have to talk about? And then nobody in the audience like claps or laughs or cheers. And Ken Jennings is just like, oh, okay, well, it's nice to have you here. I cannot stand that. It drives me crazy. Or when you have those people in class that'll just like yell out a joke and nobody laughs at it. Oh my gosh, I can't stand it. But that's pretty much, yeah, that's probably one of my main things in life.
Okay, well, I'm gonna skip one of these because I don't have much to say. Yes, I everything. Oh, this is a really kind of scary one. It says it's not a phobia. I don't think I only have one phobia and the remainings of this, but this is not one, and it is the fear of my eardrum bursting.
It's a fear?
Yeah, it's a fear because, okay, so I think lately my left ear has been like ringing and it's like, and I'm like, some people tell me that like, if you hear that like a lot, then your eardrum is like close to going.
I thought that just meant you had, what's that? It's a term for that.
I know, it's
ringing
a term
ears.
I can't think of.
I thought everybody had that, or everybody that grew up with headphones.
Oh yeah, like almost everybody gets it, but mine has been happening more recently.
Tinnitus. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I'm like, sometimes whenever I eat, like my jaw and like my ears, I feel like this has happened because I got off a plane. And if you've ever been on a plane, you know that your eardrums kind of, no, not your eardrums, your ears just pop whenever you get in a high altitude.
Yeah.
But whenever you get down, it's hard to let them all pop. So my friend tells me to put my palm over my nose and my mouth and blow to try to get the pressure out from your ears. It hurts for a very slight second, but whenever you're in the air, I couldn't hear my own voice when I was trying to talk to my friend next to me. I'm like, she's asleep, and I'm like, wake up, this really hurts really bad. She's not looking at me. She was like, I can't hear you, like, and I'm like, I can't hear you either. We can't hear each other. And then she's typing on her phone. She was like, is your ears hurting? I was like, mine, I have chronic pain right now. That is, oh God.
But the feeling of it popping back is so nice. Of it just going, pop, and you're able to hear everything. Oh man, that's wonderful.
I feel like that's probably why my ears are kind of like a little on the elderly side recently. Okay. After that, dude, I have a story for you guys about this one.
Boy.
It says, I fear my knee locking up again. So, all of my things are so specific. It's just because it either is a very intense situation or caused a lot of pain. So, this happened whenever I was at my friend's house. Of course, we're all sleeping, and I never sleep with my knees up, but I did this time for some reason, I guess to get like to try to get comfortable or something. But at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting kind of uncomfortable. I want to put my knees down and stuff. So, you know, like whenever you're trying to plop your knees out, I think it was my left one that caused me a lot of pain. And whenever I tried to like stretch it out to, get your leg straight, there was this severe pain that was in my knee. I felt like a bone was breaking or something. It's so bad. I would rather get a shot daily than go through that pain again. I would rather get like a cramp in my foot than go through that pain again.
That's huge.
It is huge. I have my hand over my mouth. I'm crying. I'm like gripping my clothes. I'm like, this hurts so bad, and I have to constantly like slowly but surely let my knee flop down. And still, whenever I'm trying to go to sleep and turn, I'm afraid of it locking up again. I feel like I have some old...
Yeah, your body sounds like it's about 40 years older than you.
Yeah, I feel like I have some...
This is I mean, I guess this counts as a fear, but I think the worst pain that I've ever been through in my entire life was my jaw cramping. I think that is maybe the worst thing that can happen to you. Like have you ever had that happen?
No, how does that happen?
So when you go to yawn, if you open your mouth too wide, something here will like flip over, like a bone or something, and it feels like you can't close your mouth. It feels like somebody is trying to rip your jaw off. It is the worst pain, and you can like flip it back over or have to wait for it to gradually like fix itself, but it is the worst pain. It's almost like locked jaw, where you yawn and your mouth gets stuck. It's like that, but it's a cramp. And it's seriously, because you can feel it bulging right here, like in your, and that's happened to me, I think 3 times in my life.
Jeez, oh my God.
And one of those times I was seeing if I could fit a Dr. Pepper can in my, I was like, I bet that I could fit the top of this Dr. Pepper can. And I did, and that happened. And you don't want that to happen.
No, I don't think I do. I yawn quite a lot, and I feel like my jaw does extend to like snake size. So I kind of like am aware of that, because I do feel like my jaw kind of pop a little bit whenever my jaw is extended like a wide amount. But I try to compress my yawn to where it won't make my mouth so wide. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I tried to do that. Do you hold in? This is so off topic. Do you hold in your sneezes? I do.
No, I don't hold them in. And here's the weird thing about whenever I sneeze. Mine come in 2. They don't come in 3. They come in 2, and everyone says my sneezes sound like some type of little furry creature.
Do you have like a...
Yeah, like that.
Like a chipmunk type thing?
Exactly like that, yeah. And then... Sometimes it will keep on happening, and then of course my eyes will water up my nose. I think this happened to me yesterday it did. I was in Miss Cuterini's office, and I was sneezing a lot, and I was like, where is the tissue? I swear. Anyways, yeah, I sneeze. Whenever I sneeze, it lasts for a very long time, and it comes in like almost, I guess, even numbers.
I'm a very loud sneezer, but the thing is, if you hold in a sneeze, now don't try this at home because you could actually like blow yourself up. But I've mastered the art of holding in sneezes. If you do it at the perfect time, you can negate all sound, push back everything resistance. It's like holding a bomb and just being like, boom. You just hold it in. And people will sometimes still say bless you, which I think that is the dumbest thing. Like, why do people have to say bless you after a sneeze? That's stupid.
And then people get like so aggressive about it.
I'm not even gonna say thank you or bless you. It's like,
it's just like a kid thing to say.
Like, I'm not gonna say excuse you after you burp. Like, it's just stupid. Like, they used to do that because they thought that sneezing was like evil demons or something. I'm not gonna say bless you. Anyways, but the thing is, if you hold in a sneeze and you fail, it's twice as loud. So when you hold it in, it's like, but when you don't hold it in, it's like, boom. And then everybody hears you and they think that your head exploded. It's very embarrassing if it doesn't work.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I think I've mastered the art of holding in my yawns.
I can't hold in yawns.
So I think it happened whenever, I think my most recent one happened in physical science today. And of course, I don't know how I do it. I just keep my mouth closed, and whenever I feel one coming on, I'm like my throat, I guess, extends or whatever.
If I do it, my eyes, I just tried to do it, by the way, and my eyes start watering really hard. Like I'm crying. I hate that when you yawn and your eyes water up.
And they're like, oh, you're so sad. Or...
Yeah, like if you do it during like a sad story and you're like, like, oh, I'm sorry. So, it's been a hard week, man.
It's been a hard week. Oh my gosh, but they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're so sad. Why are you so... I'm like, I just yawned. And these are some...
It's kind of awkward.
These are some false tears coming down. Oh gosh. Okay, I said... my one that I just said was my fear of my knee locking up. Okay, this is my last phobia, and then the other two are just some discomforts. This one is... emetophobia. Can you guess what that is?
Can you give me a hint?
It's, of course, probably gonna give away. It involves being sick.
Mento is Latin for remember.
What?
So I'm thinking you're scared of being sick for a long time.
No. Oh, it's the fear of throwing up. And I say this because I know everyone doesn't like throwing up. Of course, it's a very uncomfortable thing to do. But whenever this is going to come, it's not going to be in-depth graphic, but I just want to tell you what happens. So whenever I throw up, I am very loud, probably because I'm crying and because I want it to be over. The taste in your mouth, no. I can't deal with that. And then I think someone told me that whenever you're throwing up, you're using a bunch of your muscles in your stomach or whatever to produce that out of your body. And then plus, it's a non-stopping thing, especially if it's like like you're doing it for the first time or whatever in the night. And you're like, I want it to be over, but it's not going to be over. And then you still have that nauseous feeling, and you're like, I can't go to bed, or I can't get up from this toilet because what if I throw up in my bed, or what if I throw up on the side of the bed, whatever it is. It's just a very uncomforting feeling.
Weird question, but do you vomit often?
No, but I get really nauseous often. Okay. And that is because of... people say this thing is not real, but it's car sick, whenever you get car sick and stuff. And I think this happens to me whenever I travel in a car for a very long time. And I thought this wasn't going to happen to me whenever I traveled with my cousin to go to Alabama. But it was just maybe like a 2-hour drive, or maybe 2.5 hour drive. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get sick. This is a very short trip to get there. I was like, never mind, stop at the nearest gas station, get the Dramamine now. And whenever I feel like this nauseous feeling, I feel like I'm going to throw up, but it doesn't come out. And you feel like this dizzy feeling in your head. And I don't know what to say. Whenever I try to explain to someone, they're like, it's so hard to explain, but you feel this like discomfort in your throat.
Yeah.
And the Dramamine does that over time, but the consequence is that you'll get really drowsy and then try to go to sleep. This was in the middle of the day, and we had plans to do at night. And my eyes were fluttering, like I was about to pass out or something. This happens a lot of the time before I'm eating, and I'm like so sleepy eating, and I'm like, I'm like a zombie trying to eat. But I try to get the Dramamine that is non-drowsy, so like I won't get sleepy if I am in class or with a friend or whatever it is.
I don't get sick very often, at least like that kind of sick. And so I went about 7 or 8 years without throwing up. And so it was either last year or year before last, I got really sick, and I forget what it was, but I got really sick, and I felt like I needed to throw up. And of course, that's a feeling I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And so I went and I was like kneeling before the toilet, and this is kind of nasty, but I was kneeling before the toilet, and I was like, all right,
Where's it at?
let's go. Like, I got things to do. And like, I'm waiting and it doesn't happen. So I get up and go back in my room. Oh.
Exactly.
But it didn't come out. And I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm like, I don't want to put my finger in my throat, but I will. Like, so I'm like, okay, never mind. And then I walked out the door and I was like, this is it. I feel it. Like, it is on its way. And I leaned over, and about that, it was like, I feel like nobody talks about the scream, like you scream out vomit.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that. And so I was expecting it to just kind of like letting go of water that you're holding in your mouth or something. Yeah. But I was like Godzilla, like, like screaming into the toilet as like, you know.
That's probably what my family thinks whenever I throw up. They're like, you're so loud.
And if you have like pucophobia, like, I'm sorry, but like screaming into the toilet is such a weird thing. And then like your vocal cords get messed up. And of course that freaks me out because voice is all I got. But
oh my gosh, I have to mention this last thing because it was the first thing that came to my mind whenever I'm talking about fears. It is stairs and escalators.
Escalators.
Yeah, I know you said that you didn't like stairs, or maybe that was like a joke that you made a few weeks ago. Whatever.
I don't remember saying.
Dang it! Okay.
I don't remember saying that.
Okay. We were walking down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
You're like, let me tell you what this phobia. I don't like stairs or something like that. You said it.
Yeah, I did say that. I think I was probably just making conversation, to be honest. Well, I mean, at the time I didn't like stairs because no big guy likes stairs when they're walking down them and they're tired.
But anyways, so whenever, I think I had like a hard time walking down the stairs more than getting up the stairs because I think I'm gonna trip and fall, which I have tripped and fell down this flight of stairs. I almost tripped, and then I did trip whenever we had stairs in our town.
Just imagining you like falling downstairs. That's so funny.
But if you like, sometimes I get kind of self-conscious whenever I'm walking down the stairs because sometimes I stop because I think I'm gonna trip, and then people are like, okay, go, like, I'm like, please.
I don't like when people are following me downstairs or upstairs. I hate when I'm following people upstairs. It feels rude. Like, you know, you can't look up because it's weird. Yeah. It's like you're having to stir with your feet and it's weird.
My hand is always on the railing.
I never put my hands on the rail, ever. I'm a free bird. I wing it. You know?
It's like if I go, I go.
Yeah. I was in the academic building in Fulton, or no, it was the natural science building, and there's like a massive set of stairs that you have to go up. And this was yesterday actually. And I walked to the stair, and it's like I went to step down, and I realized that my head was like 5 inches like over the stairs more so than my feet.
Yeah.
It's like my body was like this, stepping onto the first stair, and I'm like, I'm about to fall and trip to my death. Like, I'm about to trip and fall down every one of these stairs because of this tiny little mistake. And so I'm like going down the stairs like this, like just constantly. I don't think I've ever fell downstairs though, luckily. I know one time I went to get in the bus and I had new shoes on, and like they were really big, so like my toes weren't but like here and my shoes were like to here, and I went to step on the bus or step on the first stair and it went and I just fell into my bus driver's lap.
That's what happened to me one time also. Oh gosh, but with escalators, okay, if there's an option for an elevator, I'm going on the elevator. I'm not going on the escalator. One of my fears, like I said, is stairs. but moving stairs.
Why are you scared of moving stairs?
Because I didn't want to trip and fall on the moving stairs.
Moving stairs are like the good stairs.
Okay, so like, if I'm going to get on an escalator, which I had to whenever I was in the airport, 3 times. So you can imagine my fear. But it's just the whole thing of getting on it and getting off of it. Because you know how it goes and it goes. I feel like I can't catch it fast enough.
Have you ever been to the aquarium that has the fully, like you just stand on it and it takes you through the whole thing?
Oh.
Those are what sucks.
I know what you're talking about.
They're like, you kind of like stand on it through the whole thing and it takes you through so that you don't take forever. And I mean, you're looking at the fish, you don't see where it's about to end, and then it will just stop and a lot of people fall. So it's kind of funny to watch. A lot of old people.
Oh god.
But
like me and my dad sometimes go to this mall in Collierville, and it has an escalator, and then I'm like, let's go to the elevator. Yeah, I can't deal with the escalator. And he was like, Lily, come on, it's right here. And I'm like, yeah, it's right there, but the elevator's like...
I get excited like
right
a little kid when I see an escalator or an elevator. I love elevators. I like when we stay in hotels, which is very rare. I don't ever stay in a hotel. But when we get the top floor and I get to ride the elevator up and down, it makes me feel so cool.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know. Like for the airport thing, I had to carry my carry-on and my suitcase and myself, and I'm like, I have to get this big suitcase and my carry-on, which obviously puts more weight on it.
Yeah.
On the escalator. How am I supposed to put it on the escalator? Especially whenever it rolls. What if it just rolls off the escalator?
I'll tell you what I got a phobia of. I got a phobia of being frustrated at people that walk up the escalator. Like, just stand still. It takes like 4 seconds to go from the floor up there. You do not have to walk up past me. It's a skinny little stairwell. I don't want to have to like stand like this for you to walk past me. Just wait, you know? 4 seconds. There's some people in this world that act like 4 seconds is gonna kill their career or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of impatient people in this world.
Like in drive-thrus or restaurants, like just wait, you know?
But I think that is where we're going to cut this episode. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, or now that Blake said that we can comment on Spotify, send or comment your phobias down below, or comment your daily rant, whether that be school related, life related, and general related, whatever you needed to get out of your system, put it down below, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.